All right, welcome in. It's Bettor's Last Stand, episode number 51. Chris and Coach alongside Matt here. Coming off a pretty strong week for the Bettor's Last Stand crew. We had a nice positive ROI, and we're going to try to carry that into college football week number 1, as week 0 was last week, obviously. Had a few games on the docket, and the big boys get cranking here this Saturday, and we'll be up at the Pine Room. So it's Pine Room opening day. It's week 1 of college football. We're about 8 days away. When you listen to this, it'll be 6 days away from the NFL kicking off. So lots going on. Fantasy leagues everywhere. Everybody getting their survivor pools and all that kind of stuff as we get close to Chris's favorite time of year. There's a little chill in the air today. It wasn't bad. I really liked that.
God, it would have been perfect if this
Saturday.
It'll be hot Saturday, isn't it?
Well, 84. It's not too humid.
Well,
but
there is we have the benefit of shade, though.
It'd be great out there today if it was Pine Room Day. But anyway, we'll make the best of that. Hopefully, we can get you some winners. But last week we were up nearly 23 units as a group. Sam with the Chris Busher victory there, holding off his teammate, Brad Kozlowski, teammate/owner, and some of the other guys charging late in a very action-packed race. And he went 3-0 in Formula One. Chris, you had the Ford make to win the race, so that was a good one for you. Had a couple top fives in golf. Coach, you had a couple good golf ones.
Who was the second one? I had Rory. Who was the other one?
That's not my problem, Chris. I don't remember. I wrote them down. That's up to you to remember them, not me. Patrick Cantley, I think, if I recall.
A win is a win.
Yeah,
a win is a win.
I had a W marked by the guy you had, so that's the bottom line. And then, we're talking not a lot of high school on this show, but Duggar's Saucy Spread Challenge Week 2. Pressure's on you to continue. You're in second spot right now.
Did you get my picks?
I did.
Okay, I sent them in today.
Did you play?
Don't share it with these guys.
Did you play? I already got mine in. Did you play sides or totals or mix?
I think I did.
I think you had a mix.
I think I had 6. I had 4 over-unders, and the rest were the spreads.
Okay.
You kept off a couple games that were ridiculously bad. Like you said, Park and Central. Then
but then I'm replacing 60-point spreads with the 40.
Wasn't there one like a 49?
Yeah.
It was.
There's a lot of.
Jeez, Louise.
There's a lot of really bad games, a lot of really bad teams.
Well, what'd you do, Coach?
8 sides and 2 totals.
Okay.
But I'm enjoying it. This is gonna be fun. I hope there's a lot of movement, and which I'm sure there will be. I think it's really going to be fun. I got some things coming to give everybody to make it even more fun, and I think we'll get. I think it was going to generate a lot of interest. I think maybe down the road we'll go to like Generations or up to Basil's and do a little show up there or something, and talk to Petey and get his feel.
He sent his picks in and got his already.
Already got him in?
Yeah, he's got him.
Cool.
He even gave a couple of narrations of some teams he thinks could win outright.
That's what we like to hear.
So, how did Petey do week 1?
He was 5 and 5, I think.
Yeah, right around.
I think it was 5 and 5. Yeah.
You didn't get the standings, Chris?
I did. I didn't remember.
He just saw his name at the top and he didn't care.
You're right. Forget about whoever's below. He's got his eyes set on Soup and Kayleen, and he's coming for them.
The only thing I look for is you two guys, and that's it.
Well,
I'm
going to breathe down your neck the whole year.
I know.
Believe me.
Yeah,
I know.
We appreciate Duggar sponsoring that contest. It's awesome.
It's fun.
He participates as well. And then we got our Friday show, which you can hear us go through all the Duggar Saucy Spread Challenge games of week 2. On Friday, we will be out in Moundsville getting ready for the big game between John Marshall and Union Local at what's their stadium called? Monarch Stadium. Monarch Field. So a big showdown there, and we'll be out at the Gumbies at the Walmart Shopping Center out in Moundsville, 12-3. So if you can't make it out there when you're listening to this, call us, text us, whatever you want to do. Keep in touch with the show. We appreciate all the support, and we appreciate the sponsorship from Duggar's, Gumby's, and Jill's Gentlemen's Club, who've done so much for us Pine Room guys, and we're pretty excited about that. All right, let's recap a few things. Close the book on golf for the season. We have the Ryder Cup in a few weeks, but the regular season of golf is over. Victor Hovland comes out with the FedEx Cup Championship. He holds off a few guys late. Coach, you kind of saw that you thought maybe he would be the only guy that could hold off Scheffler, who was absolutely horrible this weekend.
Jesus, I don't know what happened to Scheffler. I've never seen him play like that ever. His putting was terrible. He hit in the water uncharacteristically 2 times on the same hole.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't on. I guess it happens to even the best in the world. So, as somebody said, who's the best? Heard it. Who's the best golfer in the world right now? And I guess they got to say Victor Hovland right now.
Currently, he's playing in the best form right now. Because even Rahm had a bad finish to his season.
Rahm did not play well down the stretch. He did just not.
He kind of.
I wonder if those guys get tired. I wonder if the fatigue sets in and the travel and just a million swings they take. I mean, it's got to.
And their schedule is so packed full and that's one, I will say, that's one of the complaints the guys had about that went to the Live. They said the sponsorship pressure was just too much for them, and the PGA just didn't consider it, that these guys do wear down. And they also, Patrick Reed said that was a huge problem for the team traveling when they had to play the Ryder Cup on foreign soil. He said everybody was exhausted by the time we go over there. Mm-hmm. We're not on the same time zone as the Europeans, and it's a major disadvantage. And, everybody said they were assholes for leaving, but they kind of had a point when it came to that. I think these guys definitely wear down. It's a long year.
It really is a long year. It's a brutally long year. And here's the thing. It's people got to consider. They finish on Sunday, and then they start playing again on Thursday.
Yeah, and most of the time they play a practice round Wednesday at the place, especially if it's a major.
So really, they only get 2 days to.
And they got to travel
and recoup. I mean, that is brutal.
Yeah,
And they you could say it's golf, but I mean, my God, they're walking a lot.
Yeah, it's hot.
It's hot. They're swinging a lot. I mean, that's tough, and you can see it in some of those guys. John Rahm just did not look right.
No.
He did not look
compared to the way he started the year and when he finished. Yeah.
So I'd love to hear their thoughts on that. To be honest with you,
Coach, I think just people or fans of whatever sport just think these guys are like fucking robots,
right?
Like they're human, just like all the demands, like you said, on their time and
they
their schedules,
do media and sponsorship things they have to go to.
And like you said, the sponsorship pressure. You got a guy that has like a 4-week stretch where he's awful. I mean, that's got to weigh on your mind too. I mean, just so many different factors. But yeah, these guys aren't any different than us.
Honestly, I have heard. Some of the guys actually prefer to miss the cut sometimes.
Oh, I believe that. I truly believe
sometimes they're committed, and they've played a ton of where they've made like 8 straight cuts, and they've played 4 rounds every week, and they haven't got a breather, and they got sponsors that they need to go, and they got to appease them, and then it's like, oh, I get 2 extra days off.
Yeah, and get home on a weekend. Yeah, spend a weekend with your family.
Get your breath back a little bit, your legs back.
It'd be interesting to hear an honest, interview with one of the golfers and ask them if they've ever missed a cut and not been upset about it.
I'm sure some of the proven guys are. The guys who have to, try to string it together for paychecks. No, but these big time dudes, they're not missing any meals if they miss a cut right now.
They probably don't even care who wins. They probably don't even follow it.
Don't even follow it.
They headed home.
Yep. That's right. And in fact, I just, as soon as you mentioned that, so they go home on Friday. And then they don't even pay attention.
Oh, they don't even know.
Someone will text them. Maybe
the last thing they want to talk about is golf. Yep. They probably watch a movie, go swimming, sit and watch just TV. It becomes
like
too much.
The NASCAR guy that wrecks on the 3rd lap and helicopters out and think he listens to the race on the way home.
He's home relaxing.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway,
golf is over. Got the Ryder Cup again. We'll talk about that as it gets closer. It's in Italy this year, so. Definitely a little bit of a challenge for the United States as they go on the road. A little uncertainty about the teams there. I saw Keegan Bradley was pretty bummed out he didn't get selected.
Who were some of the snubs?
Honestly, I just saw him. I didn't even really look at the team. I'll worry about that in a week or two.
Yeah,
because the Europeans, I didn't even see if they announced their team yet. But always a good event. But
who's the coach of the Americans?
I think Zach Johnson.
And then who's the coach of the Europeans,
Padraig Harrington, maybe?
Okay. I don't know the answer to that. So, anyway.
Yep, we'll talk more Ryder Cup. Big 3 is done. The enemies won the Big 3 title. We talked about that on the show previously until football and the other stuff started, so that was interesting. They beat the triplets. And then the AFL playoffs start next week. We are off this week. Season is over. The final 8 are ready to go, and they will be in action next week. So, lots of excitement still to become in the AFL as the AFL season winds down and the NFL season cranks up. All right, let's go over to baseball here briefly before we jump into the NFL. and talk about the AFC and NFC North divisions. Well, I think it's pretty safe to say that the Twins, Dodgers, Braves are going to win their divisions.
Yes.
And probably the Brewers.
And I believe the Twins are winning today as we speak, so they're going to gain another game on the Indians.
Yeah,
so.
and I think the Brewers, last night's game was big for the Cubs, but it's I don't know. Cubs are clinging to life, but it's going to be tough. Brewers are playing pretty good right now.
They won, what, nine of the last 10?
Yeah.
Brewers.
There's a lot of teams. The Baltimore, Tampa, Seattle, Milwaukee, Chicago, Philadelphia, Atlanta, and the Dodgers have all at least won 7 or 8 out of their last 10 games.
Yes.
So it's Tampa. I thought was fading. They've been very good. The Marlins blew the game last night for them. Still waiting to see when they got to go on the road again and see.
And the Rangers have struggled in their last 10.
They've been bad.
Man, that AL West is something to.
Yeah, I still think maybe Houston is the team there.
Yeah, I do
just
too.
because they're steady. They haven't had a huge win streak or a huge losing streak all season, and that's usually the mark of a good team. I think they'll be tough. Although I will say their bullpen is very sketchy compared to what it's been in past years. They've really got some vulnerabilities at the back end of the bullpen, which they haven't had. So. Baltimore's in big trouble now with Bautista blowing his elbow out. They're going to struggle badly.
And the Reds are
a lost cause. I mean, they should have gotten no hit last night. Yeah, that was actually a bad beat. I had that on the list. Poor Alex Cobb down to 2 outs in the ninth.
Yeah.
And he gives up a hit in the 6-1 win over the Reds. Reds are pretty much listless at this point. They don't have a whole lot left in the tank.
I actually had a good beat last night. I had the Royals and Pirates game over 8.5.
So did I.
And it was 1-0 forever, and then it was 6-1 Pirates in the ninth, and the Royals got 2 garbage runs in the ninth. Boy, are they bad!
That was last night.
Yeah, it ended up 6-3.
Yep.
Yeah, it was 6-1 in the ninth. They got 2 runs in the bottom of the ninth.
Did you have 8.5 or did you have 9?
8.5.
Okay, so did
I hit it.
And then on the other side, I had that one, and I had a bad one too because I had the White Sox and Orioles under. It was under 9.5. It was 1-1 in the bottom of the 7th with 2 outs, and it ends up 9-3.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. So that one hurt a little bit, but that's the way it goes. Baseball's just I really do enjoy
Very
this
tough.
time of year. The baseball though, the games matter a lot. We talked about it last week. In these things, it's pretty intense for these teams. I mean, there's a lot of teams still fighting for spots right now. D-backs, Giants, Padres are toast.
Yeah.
Cubs are still
stink.
Still, yes, they do.
Stink. Them and the Mets is frustrating.
and then the Yankees, yeah.
Oh dear God.
And how about the Angels yesterday? Basically getting rid of all their trade assets.
They're done.
Yeah,
They're done.
I've never seen a team do that before.
They made some deadline.
All the guys they got to the deadline, they just DFA'd them.
But they gave up prospects for some of those guys. They said some.
But they're
going
to save $7 million, and they might get a compensatory second round pick for Ohtani.
But they said they owe Trout like $30 or $35 million for like the next 6 or 7 years.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's never healthy.
No, but it
doesn't matter.
He's not going to have anybody.
He had 2 of the best players in. Well, he did. He just had the best player in the world, and they didn't do shit.
I mean, were they just banking on that they were going to come back and make a run at this?
Yeah, they never.
Well, they got a little hot about 3 weeks ago. They started to get a little bit. They show little signs of life
right before they made those trades.
Yeah, and then shit went. And then Trout came back. For what?
One game.
Then he got hurt again. Now Ohtani obviously is done. So they're a train wreck. They have absolutely.
Is Ohtani done for the year or just not pitching?
Done. No pitching.
Okay.
Yeah, he's still hitting.
Okay.
Yeah, and the Nationals actually have the same record as the Padres, the team that they traded Juan Soto to for 5 top-end prospects.
Unbelievable. Absolutely. Nationals actually, and you said
They're
this
tough,
earlier.
Man, they are.
Yeah, you said that a long time ago when people were doubting them, that they're a scrappy bunch.
They just play really hard. Like you can see it, Coach, and you've been around teams like that. In the dugout, you can tell there's a different energy level, even though they know they're not great. But man, they come every day to play, and they really focus on the little things.
And you know what, too, and they probably will really accept the role of playing a spoiler down the road. If a team like that,
better believe
that's that's like their playoffs.
Yeah, you would not want to have to face them coming down the stretch if you need the games. They're going to be a team that's going to be
same record as the Padres. Who would you rather go watch on a nightly basis, the Padres or the Nationals?
And you know what? I agree, Mark, because you got these. We've talked about it several times about these
prima donnas.
Yes, that's what you just see. You think like, okay, Machado's just going up there just to pad his stats. He doesn't give a fuck.
Did you see his batting average this month? Him and Tatis are both hitting below 200.
That's incredible. that is embarrassing.
But I would identify those two as the big problems in that
Absolutely.
thing. I don't think Soto's a bad kid or a guy. He's really young still, and he's really good. And I mean, I don't think Xander Bogaerts is an issue. I think that they're Tatis and Machado. They're
I bet in the locker room they're a pain in the ass. Yes. I bet they get dressed and leave and don't try to encourage anybody. Don't try to help the young guys.
Yeah, Machado seems like the guy that goes into the locker room after they get beat like 8-1, and he's turning on the radio, listening to some music, and
they're not good for team chemistry.
No.
Well, we won't have to worry about seeing them in the playoffs.
No, and that's good. I'm glad. And I bet the stupid bastards over their win total, and they are.
Well, not that I normally do, but if I had to bet, I'm going to take Houston in that West, and I was looking at their schedule, and they have. Let's see. They have 12 games total against the Yankees, the Padres, Oakland, KC, and KC twice. So that's 15 games against those teams.
That's a good.
Very favorable.
Yeah,
that's good. That's good insight right there, Chris. Because that's really important because those teams.
They got 6 games with KC, 3 with Oakland, 3 with San Diego, and 3 with the Yankees.
You can still get the Astros at about plus 160 to win that division. So good eye, Chris. I agree. I think that's the team. What do you guys think? Marlins, they're about done.
Jesus.
They're minus 470.
I actually bet them last night against the Rays, and they just got.
Yeah, I did too. I had them too. They were up 2-0.
God, they got pummeled.
They plus 375 now to miss the playoffs or to make the playoffs. Sorry.
And you called that one.
Yeah, I could see. These teams that can't hit, they just. Eventually, the pitching starts to wear down, and they're not winning those one-run games. They won all those one-run games early in the year, just not having that happen the whole year. So, Marlins, I think, are in big trouble. And as Chris mentioned, the Rangers clinging to life. But I still think the Rangers will probably get in. I think it's going to be tough.
Teams that are hanging on, I think, are the Reds, the Rangers, the Marlins.
Giants, maybe.
The Giants are holding on by.
The Giants are like they never go on a bad losing streak. It's like they might lose 3 in a row and then they stop it. They're just barely good enough fundamentally that they don't. But you're kind of right. They're teetering on the brink.
Yeah.
What about the Blue Jays? What do you guys think of them? They still haven't come alive like
no, they have not.
Right now they're even money to make the playoffs and minus 120 to miss it. It's going to come right down to the end, I think, for them.
Absolutely is. Yeah. It's going to be a fun month.
Yeah, it is. It's the best time of year. As the weather gets a little chillier, the baseball starts to get more important. You get games all week to tide you over until football on the weekend. All right, without further ado, let's jump into the NFL. We're going to talk the AFC and NFC North, probably the divisions that people care about the most around these parts. As we finish up our NFL season previews, I'll post all the future bets that we have. I have them all written down, and we have them all on the back of the sheets here. So, our great winners again. We were 20 wins, 6 losses, and 1 push last year. So not bad. We'll try to do the same thing again. Let's get right to it and go to the AFC North, where the Cincinnati Bengals are the favorites. But we'll start with Baltimore. We'll go in alphabetical order. The Baltimore Ravens, they are plus 235 to win the North. 11-1 to win the AFC and 18-1 to win the Super Bowl. Win total posted at 10. 9.5 was out earlier. I gave that out on this show. 8 weeks ago probably that I liked the 9.5 and it's went up to 10. I still like it a lot.
You like what? The Ravens over?
Yeah, I like the Ravens over. However, I am quite a bit concerned about their secondary as they lost Marlon Humphrey. He's hurt and he's probably going to be out for a long while. Their cornerback situation really concerns me. They may give up a lot of points. If they can't get to the quarterback, it's going to be they're going to be having to score a lot. I think the Ravens are going to be a really good over team. Where do you guys fall? I'm a little biased. I think they're good. But the defense worries me a little bit. Chris, what do you think?
I like the Ravens to go over that total. I have them at 11-6. They've won an average of over 10 games for every year since Jackson was drafted. So, and right. Obviously, if he's healthy, he's the straw stirring that drink. So, I mean, that's obviously a tough division. They beat the shit out of each other, but I like them, so I'm going to take them over.
Kurt or Coach?
I'm going to. I think that number's right where it's going to be. I'd lean over a little bit, but I don't like it because I think that division. I think the Browns are going to surprise some people. I really do. I think they're going to be better than people think. I think so. And the Bengals obviously are very good. And I think everybody's thinking the Steelers are going to be much better than people give them credit for. So I don't know. I'm not sold on the Ravens being over. I think that's right on the number.
Yeah, this division has a lot of volatility and a lot of different opinions. You hear people very high on the Ravens. You hear people very low on the Ravens. You can almost say that about every team in this, but I might be the only one low on the Bengals. Let's go to them.
Boy, you've been low on them for a while.
I have, and I think that this would be the year where I'm right. We'll see. I don't know. The Bengals favorites to win the North plus 140. AFC 5-1, Super Bowl 11-1, win total 11.5. Coach is a total clown, Zach Taylor. I think he's really not a very good coach, but anyway, I know everybody likes Burrow. Chris, go ahead, start it off. I think this team will be lucky to win 8 games, but that's just me.
I got to disagree with you there, Matt. But I think they're going to be very good. I think they'll win that division.
And I think Burrow's back. I think he's going to play.
Yeah, I was hoping he could at least miss week 1 against the Browns. But when they last year they were 11-0 when they scored over 21 a game, 1-4 when they didn't. I just think they're good. And
don't you think their schedule's hard?
It is. I think everybody's that division. But yeah, I have them going 11-6 as well, just like the Ravens. And I like Joe Burrow. He's healthy. He's got weapons out the ass.
11-6 wouldn't get him to their win total, though.
Oh, it wouldn't?
No,
well, then I got
11.5.
Okay, I'm sorry then. Well, then I'm going under.
Okay, but you still think it'll be right around the numbers?
Yeah, absolutely.
It'll be right around.
It's not going to be 8 like you say.
I think that's right. Going to be a tough one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Coach. You the same? You think
same. I don't know. I don't have a feel either way. I just think it's going to be right on that number. I would lean over, but I wouldn't play it heavy.
All right. Well, you can go with them, or I know I'm in the minority. Most every person I've heard on TV, radio, everything just loves Cincinnati, but I'll take a shot against them. All right, let's go on to the Browns. Browns win total 9.5 to win the North. They are 4-1. To win the AFC, they're 20-1, and to win the Super Bowl, they are 35-1. I think this is either the team that maybe wins the division, or the wheels may fall off and Stefanski might be fired by week 6. But I tend to lean where Coach is. I think they're good enough to surprise here, and I think they're getting overlooked. And I like them over the 9.5. Chris, where do you fall?
Well, if that's what the number is, I have them 10-7. Obviously, it's been talked about for a long time about Watson. I'm not. That's a gigantic question mark with him.
Well, they keep saying he sucks at practice, but I don't give a fuck if the guy plays bad at practice.
Right.
I've heard coaches for years talk about how great their quarterbacks look at practice, and they suck on Sunday. So I would rather him suck at practice and play good on Sunday.
Oh, yeah. Well, I just like the opposite of Cade York. He kicked every fucking field goal in practice and couldn't do it in the game. So obviously, I mean, the Browns, this is probably one of the most talented rosters they've had in a long, long time. You talk about. I'm not a Kevin Stefanski fan at all.
This is make or break for him.
Exactly. So if they don't make the playoffs, he's probably going to be looking for a job. But I have him at 10-7, Matt. So I would probably.
I think they're right around that. I had him between 10 and 11 wins, not between, but one of those right around 10-11. Coach, what do you think?
I like him over, and I think it's good value to bet him to win that division.
I agree with you.
I think it's good value. I think it's the best value in the betting in that division.
It would either be that or the Steelers.
I'm still not sold on the Steelers. I'm just not.
Steelers coming in 5-1 to win the AFC North, 30-1 to win the AFC, and 50-1 to win the Super Bowl. Win total 8.5.
I like that under.
I hate to say it, but I like it over, and I don't know why. I don't know.
Matt, I agree.
I'm gonna have a horrible time. I'll be in there with Didi going, "Here we go, Steve." I mean, I can't.
If you come in with a Kenny Pickett jersey on, I'm leaving.
No, enough is enough. But I mean, I hate to say it, but I do. I think that they could be very dangerous in this division. Like and
they're being overlooked.
To me, I just find them to be better than Cincinnati, top to bottom on the roster. And Tomlin is a better coach than Zach Taylor. And I don't know. I guess if you think Burrow's that good, then you'll think Bengals are better. But I don't know. Kenny Pickett's just going to be okay.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But I think they have some players on offense that are pretty good. Pickens is pretty good. Coach, where do you like under?
Yeah, I like under. I want to see Kenny Pickett. See, Ben Roethlisberger, you can say what you want about him. He was a dick. There's no doubt about it. But when they needed a first down in a big game, 3rd and 12, 3rd and 8, he found a way to get it done.
He did.
He would get away from a sack. Two guys would have him wrapped up, and he would get away and throw it for a first down and just make incredible plays. I don't see Kenny Pickett doing that. I just don't see him. I don't want to say he's a bad quarterback, but I want to see him prove me wrong as being a top tier quarterback, and I don't think it's going to happen. And I'm not sold on the running game, even though the offensive line's supposed to be the best in the division. I'm not sold. I do like Najee Harris, but look at last year. He couldn't
do anything.
He was terrible. They were terrible on the ground, and I don't think that's going to change against those tough defenses in that division. I think they're going to struggle. I think they win 8 games tops.
Chris?
I do.
What's the total?
8.5.
I got them at 9. No, but with all these, because the Steelers have been 500, at least 500 every year.
Tomlin's never had a losing season. I'm so tired
obviously it's going to.
But he can't win a playoff game,
right? But their defense is one of the tops in the NFL.
I agree with that.
And I don't know. I mean, so obviously they're going to be in a lot of games. But like Mark was saying, is Kenny going to be a difference maker? Can he? Get that
Probably
3rd and 15. Can he lead them down? Can he go 80 yards?
Right. And when they're down, they're down 5 late in the game.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not counting on that either.
How many clutch interceptions will you throw?
Right.
I don't know. I'm not sold on them. Everybody says they look good, 3-0 in preseason.
I thought their schedule came up the easiest of the division.
Although their last 3 games, Cincinnati and at Seattle and at Baltimore. I don't know what Seattle's going to be like, but at Baltimore, it seems like every game they play Baltimore, it's like a 3-point game.
Yeah,
16-13.
You just are better off taking the dog in the points in those games. But I thought at Vegas, at Houston, at the Rams, Tennessee, Green Bay at home, those are all winnable games. Arizona at home, New England at home.
Yes.
Colts. I just thought their schedule set up that they would win at least 8 just because.
Yes. Yeah.
So I don't know. It'll depend on how they do in the division, just like it will all 4 of these teams. But yeah, and so folks, I'm not a Steeler homer, so if I'm and Chris isn't either. So if we're saying this, we think they'll be good. We're being genuine. We're not like saying because I'll be rooting again. I'll be hoping I'm wrong every week. But that will be my AFC North best bet. Will be the Steelers over 8.5.
Wow! And my best bet will be the Browns over 9.5.
Chris, what was your best bet?
Sadly, I'm going to have to agree with you, Matt. I'm going to take the Steelers as my best bet.
Here we go, Steelers.
And you know what? And you'll be telling Didi that.
Say Matt and Chris bet you every week.
I'm going to tell her tonight. She'll have something Steelers on as soon as I go in. Oh, my God.
Just don't mention anything to her about going to her house to watch a game.
Well, okay.
Yeah. All right, let's jump over to the NFC now.
I love it.
This division.
I love this division. I just love it. I love this division for some reason.
Okay.
It's one of my favorite divisions in all football. It's
going to be a good one.
Bad weather, a lot of bad weather games, a lot of grind them out, tough, good rivalries in this division.
I like it.
And I think it's totally flip-flopped in this division. I think the 2 teams that have been the doormats are now going to be on top, and the 2 teams that have ruled the ruled the roost the whole time are going to finish 3-4. That's the way I think.
So let's jump into it. The Bears, the first team we're going to talk about here. Now, the Bears are a team that I've heard incredibly mixed signals on from people. Either people love them or hate them. I don't like this team at all, and it all starts with the quarterback. Their win total is 7.5. We found that to be very high. They are 3-1 to win the North, 30-1 to win the NFC, and 50-1 to win the Super Bowl. Same odds as the Steelers, but the NFC is much easier. So I guess I can kind of understand that. 7.5 the win total. I found maybe 4 to 5 wins on this team. I know Justin Fields is going to have highlight reels, but he can't pass, and that to me is the end for the Bears. Coach, where do you stand? Are you on the Bears?
Big opening game, Green Bay. That's going to be an interesting game. If they can take care of Green Bay the first game, I think that's going to get them off to a really good start. If they get beat at home, and then they got to go to Tampa, which Tampa isn't very good. But then you got Kansas City. I don't know. I like the Bears. I think they finish second in this division.
Okay.
I think the Lions finish first. I think the Bears finish second.
All right.
And I like them over their win total.
Okay.
I really do.
Chris?
Yeah, I got them over the win total at 9-8, Matt. I question their defense. I think, and I think we had this discussion recently about Fields. I mean, a great athlete. He can run, but again, can he throw the ball? Can he get a clutch, the 3rd and 20? Can he, that kind of stuff?
I've not seen it.
And they're scheduling for week 8 through week 12. Week 10 is the Panthers, but they got the Chargers, Saints, Lions, and Vikings, and then even after that, Lions and Browns. So it's going to be tough. But I have at 9-8.
Okay.
And I think they'll be fun to watch. They got DJ Moore. He's a big time receiver, and I think he'll in a new change of scenery. He's going to.
I thought you were going to say Chase Claypool.
No,
jeez,
they didn't even talk about
what
him.
an absolute
He's totally
dick he
forgotten.
is. Yeah. What a moron. What a way to ruin your career. All right, let's move on to the Lions. I know Coach is very high on the Lions. Lions 9.5 win total, 140 to win the North, 11-1 to win the NFC, 22-1. Do you see any chance they take a slide back from last year?
Nope.
Keep going up, huh?
They win the division.
Okay. I can't really disagree with that.
I think they win division. They go over their win total. I like their coach. I think they're going to be really fun to watch. I do. I think they're good.
I'd lean over for them.
I'm high on them.
I think they get 4 wins against the Bears and the Packers, so I think that helps them out a lot. Chris, are you in the same camp? Are you on the Lions?
I am, Matt. I think that that Coach Danny Campbell, it seems like they buy into him.
Yeah.
They like him. They run through a wall. And a guy that doesn't get talked about a lot and he just kind of flies on the radar is Jared Goff.
Yeah.
I like him.
Solid player.
And I just think they're going to build off that. They're at the end of the season last year. They won 8 out of 10. So
can they handle the pressure? That's the only concern I have. They're getting some big time games. They go to the Chiefs the first game.
Yeah, how about that?
Can they handle? Can they handle?
Wow. Opening game of the
season. I tend to think that they'll be able to do that. I mean, they won a big game against Green Bay last year to knock them out of the playoffs. So. But yeah, that's the only question.
They
mark
shore
that
up
I would
their
have.
defense. They've had some issues with that. They drafted some guys on the defensive side of the ball, and they got a couple guys in free agency. So if they can improve there, I definitely think they'll be forced to be reckoned with. So I am definitely going over on that total, Matt.
Okay, we're all in agreement on the Lions over. Moving on, Green Bay. Now this team is very perplexing to me too. I don't like the coach. I don't really love the way they played last year. Everyone wants to blame Aaron Rodgers, but their defense, which was highly touted, played awful. They're 7.5. There's the win total for the Packers. They're 4-1 to win the North, 35-1 to win the NFC, and 65-1 to win the Super Bowl. I don't love the quarterback at all. I don't think he can play, but so I will be probably very high on the under here of 7.5. I think they win between 3 and 5 games.
I'm with
but
you.
I think it's between them and the Bears. Which quarterback will be better? Fields makes the more highlight reel plays, so I would lean towards the Bears. But I think the Packers probably finish last in this division.
I think they finish third. I think the Vikings finish last. But
wow.
I think I like them under their total too.
Okay, Chris.
Under. They haven't had a starting quarterback, not named Rodgers or Favre since '91.
Yeah,
had 30.
Who was that? Don Majkowski.
It probably could have been. Yeah, he's probably throwing to Sterling Sharp.
That's 30 years.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sold on Jordan Love. I mean, I don't.
No.
I mean, I have no idea what he's going to be like, but I don't. They have some talent, but they don't have any game breakers. So no, I have them at 5 wins.
No, big fat A.J. Dillon in the backfield.
Yeah,
his legs are
maybe,
like the size of linemen, and it's not. This isn't 3 yards in a cloud of dust NFL.
Different
anymore.
NFL.
No, I'm down on this team. I think they're the basement dwellers. All right, so I know we're going to disagree here, Coach. I think the Vikings by default are going to be contending with the Lions. 8.5 the win total. 2-1 around there to win the North. NFC 20-1 in the Super Bowl 35-1. So you don't like Kirk Cousins and the Vikings at all, Coach?
Not at all. No, I watched them last year. I thought they were terrible last year. I thought they were absolutely awful.
They won all those games and they shouldn't have won any of them.
And I don't think they're going to be any better. I'm picking them to finish last in the division.
Okay.
Well, was that last year when they got that gift from Buffalo?
Yeah.
Did Buffalo fumble like on their own team?
Yeah, well, they had that, and then they had the game. What about the game against the Colts on right around Christmas when they were down 38-0, and they came back and won?
Yeah.
And then in the playoffs, we knew they were going to get their ass beat, and they got absolutely massacred.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't like them at all.
Yeah, I don't like the coach. I don't like the quarterback. Cousins is just like.
He's a stat compiler. Yeah. We talk about him in all
I think he tries hard. I don't know. I think Jefferson's pretty good. I think their defense is a little bit better. I just don't like this division. I mean, I like the Lions, but I don't like the other two teams. So I think Minnesota's a contender just because of that, and I'll go over. I think they might be able to win 9. But I see where you're coming from, Coach, because they won a lot of one-score games, and they really shouldn't have won a lot of them.
And if you ask any Viking fan, like Chad or Kerry Vance or any of those guys, they said they're terrible.
Right.
And they're Viking lovers, and I think they're going to be worse this year.
Chris, what do you say? You down on them?
Yeah, I am. They got an aging roster, and they with their first pick in the draft, they took at Addison, the wide receiver, and they have
bad pick.
Yeah,
really
they
bad
pick. A ton of other needs, especially on the defensive side
just
of the
morons.
ball.
You got the best receiver. You don't need to draft another guy like that.
Exactly. So, and Dalvin Cook's gone. So I have them at 7-10, man, and I think they'll finish third in that division.
Okay. All right. Best bets in the division, Coach. I know you're the Lions.
Lions
up the flagpole. My best bet is the Packers under.
Lions win the division.
Okay, Chris. Best bet
is the Bears over their win.
Oh, Bears! All right,
Champ would love to hear that.
Go Bears! Bears and over.
Go Bears! Go
Bears and under. Yeah, Chris doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
all right.
Georgie.
All right, that'll do it for our division previews. Next week we'll be talking about the damn games, if you can believe that.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, they're here already. Get ready for your fantasy drafts. I just want to say before we take a break, are you guys looking forward to fantasy football?
No.
I am not at all.
Actually, I don't even want to be in any
I don't
leagues.
either, and I almost to the point where, and I don't know how you feel about this, Chris. I feel the same, Coach. I almost feel like I'm guilted into it and obligated because I have a teammate like Curry wants to play, and I'm ready to quit.
Well, just have Curry do it, or he wouldn't do it out yet.
It just doesn't.
He couldn't.
But I don't want to be. I don't want to be a jerk, and you got Mike's on your team, so you don't want to be like.
Does nothing for me.
It makes me miserable. I mean, I have enough misery with the betting part of it. I don't need to add to it by fantasy. I don't like it. I think some guys take it way too serious.
Oh my God,
pisses me off.
If you could sit in the bar with some guys and they'd talk about fantasy of their team for hours.
I don't.
How good they're drafting, and if this guy.
Look at my team; it's so good. Like
I don't care.
I've never showed anyone.
Never
my team
ever.
Like that.
Never ever.
Like ever.
And some guys they talk as if like they're a real GM.
They're a real GM,
yes.
and they could do the job in real life.
I don't.
Some they might be able to compare some of the people we have out there.
You know what fantasy is too? It's a lot of luck. You have to have luck.
Really is.
If you can stay away from injuries, obviously that's very obvious. But if you stay away from injuries and you happen to have that key, that one guy that happened to have the breakout year, that is just
that you got in like the 6th round or something,
just by luck.
Yep.
But most of it is just luck.
Yeah,
it's just luck, and if you happen to have the right team,
and nobody's more prepared than like the rest of the league. Where they're like, you're right, it's all luck. Like every guy knows enough about it to be able to draft a decent team.
Right,
it does. It comes down to the breaks. Who does what? Which weeks?
Who blows their leg out in the first
training camp.
Like Mark and probably you too, Matt. Obviously, when we talk about this. And I was just fucking around one day with that mock draft, but I just wonder if there's got to still be guys that like get the depth chart, look at each team. Like I just go in there and see who how they rank them. And
I literally haven't done one thing looking at it either. And if I happen to be in the draft Monday, all I'll do is just take them off of the list.
That's it.
And just make sure fill my needs,
cross them off.
But the only thing you really have to pay, I mean, obviously if their health, but then just check the bye weeks. That's about it.
Yeah,
and then
Well, good luck to everybody who plays fantasy.
Buy those magazines.
Hope you have better luck than us. Yeah, and we used to do it by hand. Go up and put the guy's sticker up on the fucking board.
And I know you would always remember what Terry McCormick. You'd announce your pick, and he'd say, "Who?
Yeah,
who?
You're right.
He couldn't hear in the back. Yeah. Anyway, God, fantasy.
Yeah, I think it's wearing out. It's
more popular than ever.
Yeah,
just wearing us out. That's all. But anyway, we're going to take a break here on Bettor's Last Stand. Come back, and we're going to go through week 1 of college football. It's Bettor's Last Stand. Coach is ready. We'll be back after this.
Reminder, Bettor's Last Stand is for informational and entertainment purposes only. All wagering activity should only be conducted by those 21 years of age or older and within the confines of federal, state, and local law. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, contact 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-426-2537. You're watching Bettor's Last Stand.
I've always liked that guy.
Tsitsipas got beat today. That's an upset.
And didn't he get fucked over during that COVID bullshit?
Yeah. Djokovic?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I like him, too.
Yeah. So, it's very, very entertaining to watch.
Yep.
I enjoy. I'd love to be there one time.
Yeah, me too. Tough ticket to get this year. A couple things real quick before we get into college football. We talked about the bad beats in baseball, but also had a bad beat in Formula One. We had Red Bull top 2 on the podium, and Sergio Perez got a 5-second penalty after he finished third, so he ended up getting dropped to 4th, so that sucked for us. And then just a couple of, I found this interesting, notable bets, Coach. They're pouring in on Jamie McKittrick's Colorado Buffaloes. The biggest liability at sportsbooks across the world are the Colorado Buffaloes. What do you think about that?
People are betting them?
Betting heavy on them to win Pac-12 National Championship, Heisman Trophy.
I wish I could have booked that. I think I have a lot of really strong feelings about Colorado. I don't think you just pull all those guys in, and a lot of those guys are Division II guys.
Yeah, were they Jackson State guys?
Yeah, they're not Division I guys. Yeah, These are a lot of Division II guys that are coming trying to put piece this all together in like three like a month, and think you're going to go and win 8-10 games. I'd love them under their win total. We
talked about that. Yeah,
I do. I don't think it's going to work.
You put your money where your mouth was. You made a nice bet
will
on
Sunday. Will it work down the road? Maybe we'll see.
Right.
We'll see. But if you know how things go, if things go sideways with that team, with him and his showboat antics.
Exactly, because to me he's more style than substance, and and what's he proven at Jackson State?
He hasn't proved shit.
No, but he thinks bringing these guys in and he's strutting around a fucking cowboy hat and a fur coat I don't know.
Just because you bring athletes that are good in and try to meld them into one cohesive unit with team it doesn't always add up.
Yeah,
I mean,
so Coach, you would have liked to have had this guy bet $1,000 on them to win the national championship at $250 to 1, $4,500 for them to win the Pac-12.
I'd have taken every penny.
And then Shedeur Sanders to win the Heisman at $1,000 and $125.
I would have taken every one of those.
I'd take Tampa Bay to win the Super Bowl over that, and that's just stupid. And you know what? I think we were talking. I mentioned this to you guys. You watch if they're like 1-7 and they're getting their brains beat in, and suddenly his health will come back up as an issue, and he'll be like, "I'm going to step away for the rest of the year."
I don't think it'll happen this year. I just don't. And now the first game scares me a little bit. I do like. Let's see, who are they playing on? Obviously, I know who.
TCU, I think.
Yeah, I do like TCU in the game. But the emotion and all that bullshit that's going to go on with Colorado and him might have them cover, but I still like TCU in the game.
That's the big noon kickoff game of the week.
I do like. I don't think TCU is going to be as bad as everybody says they're going to.
No,
Will they be where they were last year? No. I mean, you lose Max Duggan. I mean, he was phenomenal. But I think they're going to still be very good, and I think they'll compete really well in the Big 12. But that worries me a little bit, and we'll talk about that game, I'm sure. But it worries me a little bit that's a big number early, and the emotion with Colorado. I think they may cover that spread. Worries me.
Well, let's get into the games right now. This is what we've all been waiting for.
Friday,
So
right?
we'll start with Friday. Yes, Thursday's games. I do have the opinion on. I think I gave out on the radio. I think UConn has a chance to win that game. And Coach, you like UConn?
Yeah,
as well,
I like UConn, and I like UConn in the first half too.
Yep.
My pick there is the first half. I'm not exactly sure what the line will be the first half. I'll try to look it up. It's probably going to be like probably
7.5.
7.5.
Yeah, I think it was 7.5.
I'd play UConn. We'll see how that turns out. Obviously, this is going to come out after that. I like UCF. I think UCF is going to be really good.
Right.
I think they're going to surprise a lot of people in the Big 12.
I hear some people saying Kent State could be one of the worst teams in the country.
Yes,
so.
I agree. I agree with that. I have. They have a new coach. There's a lot of transfer portal just absolutely pummeled them.
Yeah,
I think that's.
Might take them a while to get going.
I think UCF might beat them. 7 or 8 touchdowns. I really do, because I think UCF is going to be really strong.
You picked them as the top newcomer in the Big 12.
I do.
So,
I love them.
All right, let's jump into Friday. Let's start it off with my team, the Hurricanes, hosting the Miami Redhawks. Miami minus 17, 16.5 some spots. Total has been bet down from 48.5 down to 45.5. Do you guys have any thoughts here? Miami should win this game.
Yes.
I don't know what to think of
Miami.
The Hurricanes.
How are we going to do it? Miami. Number one MAC defense last year. Very good defense. Here's what I like in that game a lot. I love that game under the total.
I would agree with that.
I love that game under the total. I think that's a really good play, 46.5. I think Miami's defense is really good. Miami, Ohio. The Redhawks will struggle to score.
Agreed.
But they had the best defense in the MAC. I look for that to be like a 21-10 game, 24-10 game.
Okay.
I really like that game under the total.
Chris, any thoughts there?
No, I'm just going to go with your Hurricanes.
Okay. Better bet it money line.
If I was to bet a side, I'd bet the Hurricanes.
Yeah. All right. Louisville at Georgia Tech. I actually am interested in this game. Now, Louisville's a team I think will be pretty good as the season goes on. I think they got a good coach now, but I think Georgia Tech is improving a lot, and I like the 7.5 here with Georgia Tech. The Yellow Jackets catching 7.5 at home. The total 48.5. Bet down from 51. I'm going to be going with the Yellow Jackets here. What are you guys thinking?
I got Louisville. Georgia Tech lost some pieces last year or to graduation, and I think they lost their quarterback too. I'm not sure.
It might be a good
thing.
Jeff.
Yeah, that's right. But I don't know. Louisville seems primed to have a good year with Jeff Brom, so I'm going to take them.
I agree with that. I think Louisville has a good season. I think they win this game, and I think it's like a 3 or 4 point victory. Coach, what are you thinking here?
I think this is a big, big game for both of them for bowl eligibility. Down the road, because if you look at their schedules, both of them are going to be right around 6 wins, in my opinion. They're both very average, but improved. Jeff Brom, like Chris said, the new coach. Here's another one. I like this game under the total.
Yep.
Both these teams play low scoring games. Like it under.
I agree with that. All right, I think you have an opinion in this game, too.
Yes.
Central Michigan at Michigan State. The Chippewas catching 14 on the road, total 45.5. Now, it got bet down from an opener of 51.5. Where did you lean here, Coach?
I love Central Michigan. I bet them a long time ago.
Okay.
They got a really good quarterback. Probably one of the better teams in the MAC.
Good coach, too. I like that.
Yes, I like the game over the total a little bit too, but that's just a lean. I'm not sold on that.
Right.
But I really like. I bet Central Michigan a long time ago against Michigan State. I think they're going to give them all they want.
Jump on the Chippewas.
Totally agree.
I agree too.
What is that? A 14 point?
Yeah, around 14.
And I got it.
If you can get that 14.5,
I got it at 14.5
yeah,
early.
If you can get that hook.
Yeah, because when we did that Big Ten preview. I was way down on Spartans.
Yeah, that was one of your best bets, I believe. I think
I hopefully
Spartans.
I think their coach is a buffoon.
Yes.
Yeah, he got that giant payday.
They got to be regretting signing that long-term deal.
And then here's one of the biggest line moves of the week based on the Hawaii performance at Vanderbilt. It drops from the Cardinal opened at 10.5-point favorite here. Now they're going off a 3.5-point road favorite in the total 59.5.
I love Stanford in this game early, and now I don't. I don't know that. Why does that line move so heavy?
I would say just because of the performance that Hawaii gave, they played better than expectations, but it was against Vanderbilt.
But were they? Hawaii was what? They were getting 17 in that game?
Yeah, 17.5.
And lost by, 38? 35-28.
I would recommend for you bettors out there to bet that game over the total. I would say over the total, to stay away from the line because that line movement is real fishy.
And if you didn't get on the right side of it, you better stay the fuck away.
I'd play it. I'd play it over the total. Hawaii coming off that win, but 2 games in 6 days. I don't know, man.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump into Saturday. Let's get going right away at noon. Well, first I'll just ask you guys: do you have any play on the Louisiana Tech SMU game? That's SMU minus 19, total 65.5. All right, let's move along. ACC Virginia at Tennessee. Tennessee 28.5-point home favorite. The total 57.5. I don't really have a strong play here. I think Virginia's terrible. I don't know what Tennessee, they have a lot to replace. I think they'll still have enough athletes. Probably over is where I'd lean here.
Well, and it's a neutral site. It's played in Nashville.
Right.
It's not.
Yep.
It's not at. It's
at
not
Neyland
at
Stadium.
Yeah, it's not at Tennessee. Virginia is going to be really bad. 28 is a right. Then I lean just a lean to Tennessee. Nothing. Not Chris.
I have Tennessee circled on my sheet, so I'll go with that, given the 28 or whatever it is.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's move along. Soup's team, his adopted new team, the East Carolina Pirates, will head up to Ann Arbor to take on Michigan. Michigan minus 36. The total 51.5. East Carolina coach, we talked a lot. They're pretty good at home, but I don't know if they can travel very well here. This could be a really bad spot. Michigan very powerful and probably pissed off. Harbaugh suspended.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like the over here, but what do you think?
I'm that number is going to be tough. That in non-conference games, the last 6 non-conference games, Michigan's average victory margin is 44.5. So non-conference games,
Sure.
But I don't think East Carolina is going to be horrible this year.
Oh.
I'm with you. You leaned over a little bit.
Over.
I would lean a tad over
the 51.5,
and I would play East Carolina maybe on a backdoor cover potentially.
Just looking at that line, it reminds me of some of our high school lines. Minus 36, total 51.
Right.
That's what it's been like. So, all right, let's move along. Oklahoma, the Sooners will host the Arkansas State Red Wolves. Oklahoma 35-point favorite, 58.5 the total. Steam on Oklahoma. Steam on the under, strangely enough. Maybe Oklahoma's now going to be an under team with Brent Venables. I don't have a strong play here at all. I just don't trust Oklahoma in any capacity. I stay away. What do you guys think?
Interesting stat. Arkansas State in their last 8 games is 6-2 against the spread in non-conference games. So keep that in mind. Mm-hmm. I lean a little bit towards Oklahoma, but I'm with you, Matt. I'm not sold on that team. I think they're way overrated, and I would lean Arkansas State. A little bit.
If you can get 35 in the hook, I'd definitely take that.
I'd lean that way.
Well, it looks like we'll have that one on. It's noon on ESPN, so we'll be your place watching.
The Red Wolves.
Yeah.
All right, let's go down.
That nickname, too, by the way.
Yes, that is a good. I like that, too. Very unique. Colorado Buffaloes, we talked about it a minute ago at the TCU Horned Frogs. Sharp money showing up on TCU. As Coach said, a lot of people think their demise is coming, but most people say that they are going to take a step back, but some of the sharper guys are saying that they're not going to be as bad as people think. The Horned Frogs minus 21, the total 59. This could get ugly for Dion real fast here if TCU can score
I
early.
agree.
I'd lean TCU, but I don't love anything.
Me too, but as I said earlier, the emotion of the first game and Colorado and all that, how long would it last? But if it doesn't, that could go south for Colorado.
Chris, you on
No,
TCU?
I'm on TCU big time. I what you said earlier, Mark, about just bringing all these guys in 1 year, think you're going to turn it around. They had the world's worst defense last year.
Happen.
I think TCU. I would even say this game will go over, but I have TCU covering this.
I would bet it over too, definitely.
All right, let's stay at noon. Utah State Aggies visiting the exciting Iowa Hawkeyes. Iowa minus 25.5. The total 43.5. Anything here, guys?
I think Iowa's going to be better.
Huge move on them. They opened 19.5 up to 25.5.
I think they're going to be better. Cade McNamara is a quarterback now for Michigan.
A big upgrade for them.
Huge. That's like Notre Dame adding Sam. What's my
Hartman?
Man? Sam Hartman. Cade McNamara for them is a huge upgrade, but I still really like this game under the total.
Okay.
I think
Mark.
Iowa's defense is really stout. I think it'll be another one of those 21-10. It's 17.
Might be a good game to bet Utah State under their point total for the game. If it's like 14.5 or something.
Goals.
Yeah. All right, move along. Fresno State at Purdue. Fresno catching 4 on the road and actually down to 3 at some spots. Total 49.5. This game opened Purdue 6.5. Now down to 4, down to 3. That tells you sharp money showing on Fresno State. I don't know a lot about Fresno State. I was kind of high on Purdue, but now I'm starting to hear some things in their program that I'm not liking. So, any opinions on this game, guys?
Yes, I like Fresno State on the money line. I think they win the game.
All right.
I think they win the game outright. They're 4-1 against the spread in week 1 over the last 5 years. First time these two teams have ever met. First-year head coach for Purdue. I think it'll take time. I think it's going to be West Lafayette is in for a long year this year. I think Purdue is going to stink.
Okay,
I do. I think they're going to stink.
I picked. I got Fresno getting the points, and I think it will stay under the total as well.
I think they'll win the game. I think Fresno wins the game. Mm-hmm. They win it outright.
There you go. First upset special of the year from Coach.
Yes.
All right, let's move on to a game that I have a strong opinion in this game. The Buffalo Bulls visiting the Wisconsin Badgers. Badgers minus 26 up from the opener of 22.5. The total 54.5. I am really surprised at how people have fallen in love with Wisconsin so quickly. I think they'll be good eventually. I don't like them here, though. Buffalo returns a lot of seniors. They got their quarterback back. I think they're dangerous here. I think they cover the 26. And I wouldn't be that surprised if this is a one-possession type game late in the ball game against Wisconsin. But I do think Wisconsin eventually gets it on track and has a good season. What are you guys thinking?
I'm the other way totally.
Okay.
I think Luke Fickell's a really, really good coach. He's proved himself over the years. They obviously haven't lost to a MAC team since 1988. In the last 6 games, they've won by a margin of 48 points. So
wow.
I think Wisconsin rock and rolls with him jumping around.
The money agrees with you. It's up from 22.5 to 26.
I think they rock Buffalo, and they'll be jumping around and
acting silly.
Acting silly.
Chris, you in the same
I got
opinion?
Wisconsin's circle. Yeah, I think they want to be up there with those top teams in the Big Ten, and they're going to.
I don't know. It's
quite,
quite a fucking jump to get to Ohio State. I just think
I'm not sure I'm not with that that much, Chris. But I'm not.
I just they want to. I'm not saying they will be, but I just
All right. We got another MAC versus a Big Ten battle here. Toledo visiting the Illinois Fighting Illini. Illini minus 8.5. Total 46.5. Some money showing on the under. It opened to 49, down to 46.5. I don't really have a strong opinion here.
I don't either.
I may lean to the under if I was going to say. I think we talked about in the Big Ten preview that Illinois has a very stout defense. So under would be my play. The money showing on the under, that would probably be where I would lean.
No play for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I got. I think Illinois is going to be pretty good. They got.
You did like them earlier.
What's his name? Bielema. Bielema. Yeah, he's got a good defense. They're strong. I don't see Toledo scoring many points, even though they have a decent quarterback, but it's a MAC team. So I have Illinois, and I also think that game will stay under.
Wow, two opinions
Chris
there. And I don't have a strong opinion either way.
Okay, all right, let's move along.
I should adopt them as like my new team. Like
it might be. You can get that
in Kansas.
You can get that Native American headdress that they have in the center of the field. That'll look good.
You a hat with a big eye on it.
Look good, Chris. The Akron Zips, Temple Owls. Anything on this game, guys?
Nothing.
Temple minus 10, total 55. All right, that'll be a pass. I got nothing. Bowling Green at Liberty. Anything there?
Nothing there.
Liberty minus 10 now, open 13.5. Total 50.5, so some money showing on BG there, Chris.
What I read here, what is it? This little write up was talking about this Jamie Chadwell for Liberty, like he defined football. They're just talking about how great he is and taking Liberty giving 9. So
The money's disagreed, but we'll see. That's not always right.
Which I don't care, but no, I picked Liberty.
Okay,
and I like William Byron to win in NASCAR. So I like him to win it.
The Liberty
That's my
car.
pick to win the
Northern Illinois and Huskies at the Boston College Eagles. BC 9.5 total.
God,
52.
BC. I can't bet them if
Me either. I passed on this game.
They're the worst team I've had all year betting last year.
Well, you see their nickname, so maybe you guys should just bet it for a good thing, for karma. Or
the Eagles missing. Maybe the BC Eagles missing. No opinions, guys?
None.
No.
Ball State at Kentucky. Kentucky minus 26.5, total 48.5. I like this game over the total. I think there's some points here.
I agree with that.
I like Ball State. I think they can move the ball a little bit. And Kentucky has turned from a team that was a really good defense to, I think, like they're a little bit more explosive on offense. I'm high on the Wildcats this year. I think they're going to be pretty good. I like the over here, 48.5.
I agree.
Okay.
Yep.
Chris?
Yep, go with that.
All right. Rice at Texas. Coach, you're big on the Longhorns. Horns, 35-point favorites, 59 to total. Any opinion on this game?
Yeah, I got several opinions.
Or do they get caught over looking towards next week?
That's my very first opinion is looming on their schedule. They're not really too worried about the Owls because the Crimson Tide
is a revenge game
on their radar. So JT Daniels now with his fourth team is a new quarterback for Rice. He was a Mountaineers quarterback for a minute.
That's his fourth team?
Fourth team.
Yeah.
Fourth team. Great. He's the new quarterback for Rice. I would honestly, it would scare me to take Texas in this game, even though I think Texas is going to be the team to beat in the Big 12, in my opinion. But it's a setup for here's what I think is going to happen. Honestly, I think Texas runs out,
backdoor,
gets it comfortable, brings everybody out so they don't dare get anybody hurt for the Alabama game. I think they sit everybody down. They're up 41 points. Rice moves it down, and Texas isn't even paying attention to the game. They're not even paying attention. As long as the referees don't fuck them, then I think that the Rice backdoors them, and people with Texas are going to be crying.
That's a very good. I think Rice in the second half might be a decent.
I agree because they're going to take. They're not going to dick around, and they know they're going to beat Rice. They're going to easily handle Rice. Texas in the first half may be a good bet there.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Texas first half, Rice second half.
As opposed to Texas in the game.
Okay.
Because you got Alabama, everybody's thinking, Jesus, that's going to be the game of the week next week, obviously. I'm sure game day is going to be. Is that game at
Tuscaloosa?
Is it Tuscaloosa?
I think so. Or maybe it's a neutral. I don't know. Honestly, don't know about that. But yeah, no, I agree with that. Chris, any added thoughts?
I don't give a fuck about week 2. They're going to beat the shit out of this team. It'll be like 52-10. I don't care about that.
42. So
they cover by a score. All right.
Yes.
All right.
UMass Minutemen, the 1-0 UMass Minutemen visiting the Auburn Tigers. Auburn 36.5.
It's not high on Auburn.
52.5. I'm not either. I'm not sure if they're ever going to get back to what they once were. I'd be very leery about betting Auburn here. I would lean towards the Minutemen. I think they're a little battle tested and think they're on the rise. I don't know how far on the rise, but maybe they win 3 games this year.
I would lean Minutemen there getting 39.
Yep.
I may regret that because they're coming off of
they might still be partying right now, so that could be a problem.
That's the ESPN 3:30 game. Wow,
yeah, it's great. Loaded
that's
card.
Awesome.
Chris.
We'll get the Minutemen.
Yeah. When's the last time?
Well,
they
by
were
then,
on?
hopefully, Job's got the music cranking.
I know.
Yeah. All right. Page 2, 3:30 kick. Boise State.
Interesting game.
Visiting
I think
Washington.
Yes.
Washington
be a hell of a game.
Minus 14.5. Total 58.5. I'll be on the Huskies here. I don't think Boise stands a chance going into this place. That place will be rocking. The best Washington team in years. I think Boise's okay, but
I'm high on Washington. But I honestly, what is the line right now?
I got 14.5, but I saw some 14s.
I like the hook. I think Boise covers this. I really do. This is a Chris Peterson Bowl, by the way.
Yeah.
The last 4 games have been coached by
Chris Peterson.
Yeah. But I think Washington has arguably the best quarterback in the country. I think
he's very good, Michael Penix Jr.
I think he's better than Williams. Yes, I do, and I think he'll be definitely in the running for the Heisman. But honestly, I'm playing Boise.
Okay.
Yeah, Washington lost a couple guys in the preseason injury, and their running back. whatever the Cam Davis.
Tough place to play up there.
Yeah, I know,
Puget Sound, Chris.
but I know, but Boise won't win the game, but they'll cover.
All right, you guys are both on Boise. All right, our next game, South Florida at Western Kentucky. Anything on that one?
Pass.
All right, Ohio State, Indiana. Ohio State minus 30. The total 59.5. Go ahead, Coach. Kick it off.
Strong play. I think Ohio State just beats the living shit out of Indiana. I do. Yeah. They've outscored them 110-21 the last 2 years. Indiana has one of the worst pass defenses in the country, and that is absolutely going to be the strength of Ohio State. Yep. I think this is really going to get bad ugly. Maybe the excitement of playing the number 2 team in the country to start out will keep them around for a minute.
Yep.
But I think this goes sideways quick. I think this is a 55-7, 55-10.
Chris, any thoughts?
Over.
I do like that too.
I do
like that.
Probably a good one too.
I do like that, but it's going to depend on if Indiana can score.
All right. Let's move along. Cal Berkeley, Golden Bears at the North Texas Mean Green. We used to care about this game. Now we don't give a shit, but I do like it under 56. So there's a play there.
Okay.
Berkeley on the road, -7. Stout D. Nevada at USC. Chris, any thoughts on this? 38.5 USC.
Love USC.
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Texas State, Baylor. Baylor minus 27.
Do you like USC, Matt?
Yeah, probably.
I think USC bounces back from that.
Nevada, Reno's really not good on the road, so yeah, I'd tend to lean.
All
USC.
transfer backfield. Their whole backfield is a bunch of transfers. Yeah. I think this gets out of hand early.
Okay. Baylor hosting Texas State Bobcats.
I did a lot on this.
I
can't get a feeling on this game.
I didn't have an opinion either. 27 is the line right now. Baylor, 60.5 the total. It opened 56, so getting bet up. And then Baylor's taking money, 24.5 the opener, now 27. I'll just root for Baylor for our cousin Jake and just hope that they can get some momentum going and have a good season. But, yeah, I'll stay away from it from a betting perspective. I don't know. I maybe lean towards the under, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
All right, UTSA at Dana Holgerson. I do have an opinion on this. The Roadrunners on the road, now a 2-point favorite.
You have to love the Roadrunners.
Has completely switched there. Total 60.5.
Roadrunners.
Johnson's Roadrunners, I will be on them heavy.
Me too.
I think they win the game by probably over a touchdown.
Me too.
I don't. Holgerson, one of the
I'm
worst
on them too.
prepping coaches in America. I think that he gets totally outclassed here and gets his ass beaten home.
I'm with you.
Chris?
I like UTSA.
Yeah, and this is the closest line of all the games we're going to preview. Yeah, I got the Roadrunners as well. I don't like Dana Holgerson at all.
I mean, does Dana Holgerson strike you as a guy who's really preparing for the first game of the season?
Although I do have Houston in the 33 board, so.
Oh, well. Good luck.
But I'd rather wait till week
40
7.
to 33.
Exactly.
All right, Army at Louisiana Monroe. Anything there? Black Knights up to a 10-point favorite after opening at 7. Coach, you've been known to give the Black Knights from time to time. Anything on?
I like Army in this game. Okay. I like Army. I'm leaning them a little bit.
Money's showing on Army.
Don't love them, but I think they take care of business here.
Okay, Washington State at Colorado State. The Cougars on the road, -12. Total 54.5.
Really like Washington State.
Yep.
Okay, and I like the under here. So are you guys?
Yeah, they're not they don't talk about them too much, but I do like we talked about in the Pac-12. Yep.
They're going to be good.
I like under here a lot. In that game, I think both offenses are going to be going through some growing pains, but I agree. Washington State, I think, fundamentally sound team. I think they keep the score low and just flex their muscles.
Colorado State
choke out the Rams.
It's just a terrible team for me to watch.
They're horrible.
I can't stand
to
watch
so
them
bad.
play. They're just terrible.
Offensively, they're so terrible.
They just suck.
They always have a quarterback that rolls out and then he ends up like running out of bounds every play.
Or whipping it. That's Mark's favorite play.
Stupid-ass green uniforms. I just don't like the Ram logo. There's only one team that should wear a Rams logo, and that's the
Shepherd.
I was going to say
right.
Shepherd.
Not even the Los Angeles Rams or whatever the hell called.
New Mexico State Lobos on the road at Jimbo Fisher's.
I got an opinion on it.
38. The A&M is laying at home at Kyle Field. 49.5 the total. Coach, go fire
away. I like
away.
New Mexico here.
Okay.
I'm not sold on A&M.
I hate them.
They didn't score 40 points in the entire season last year. I don't think they're going to be that much better. I'm not saying New Mexico's any good. I just don't see A&M.
I hope you're right. I think I think their coach is a buffoon as well.
Totally,
I do not like that guy whatsoever. I think he's so overrated and so overpaid.
Yeah, they're stuck with him now. They were almost going to fire him last year. We'll see if he gets off to a bad start here, what's going to happen. All right, North Carolina at South Carolina, one of the games of the week. North Carolina minus 2.5 on the road. The total 64, opened at 60.5, bet up to 64. I like an under, Coach. What do you
really? See, I absolutely love it over.
Okay, well, then I think you got to play that.
You got Drake May and Spencer Rattler. They are going to be firing it all over the place. Drake May's probably going to make a run for the Heisman. I think Carolina. I do lean a tad to South Carolina at home.
I would agree with that.
In the game, actually, no, it's a neutral game. It's at Charlotte. This is game played on a neutral field.
Was that scheduled that way, or was that?
I would say no, it was scheduled that way.
Yeah,
it's scheduled at Charlotte. I do like South Carolina a tick, even though I like Drake May. I think he's going to be freaking unbelievable. But I like the game over. Okay. I really do.
I'm taking South Carolina. I do
like a tick.
I like their coach, St.
A lean to South Carolina.
Yep, I agree with that. I think South Carolina.
The next game I got to have.
All right, the Mountaineers, the game everybody's been waiting for. The Mountaineers visiting the Nittany Lions of Penn State. Penn State holding right at about 20.5 right now. Total 50.5. This line hasn't moved a touch. 53. The total opens down to 50.5. I really like the under. I bet the under about 10 weeks ago in this game. I'll continue to bet
What'd you get it at?
I had 53. So I can try to get it right when it came. So that extra field goal could be big. But I really don't think West Virginia scores over 14 points in this game. But I think Coach has a shot of cover, and I think a 31-14 or something like that is in the cards. What do you say, Coach?
I just I can't say I like the Mountaineers as a team. And I can't say Penn State's not going to be good. I mean, this is set up for an absolute blowout, a massacre, 106,000 people. By the way, it's not a whiteout. It's a stripe game, blue-white.
They're not wasting a whiteout on West Virginia.
Right. So my feeling is Mountaineers have to survive early. They got it. They got to weather the storm early because the place is going to be raucous. It's going to be nuts. If they can survive early, get out of the first quarter, not be down 14-0,
or not have a big turnover,
a huge turnover, which scares me. But Garrett Green, I like him. I think he's not bad. And the Mountaineers, honestly, and I'm not a huge Mountaineer fan. I like him, but I'm not a huge Mountaineer fan. When their backs are against the wall and they're a huge underdog, They usually respond pretty well. Now, we don't have Don Nehlen or Bill Stewart coaching, and I'm not a fan of Neil Brown by any means. But the Mountaineers have always responded to when they're the huge underdog and the country is against them.
Yeah.
I think everybody in the country is touting Penn State. You've seen
everyone. Sharp money all over Penn State.
Sharp money all over Penn State. But the public money is all over Penn State. Yeah, I haven't heard one person in this.
I'd be more worried about the public money being on Penn State. That would really concern me.
Exactly.
We can't give away a Mountaineer ticket in a West Virginia sports book. So
what's that tell you?
That tells you a lot.
You guys,
Champ over there betting $20 on it. It triples, quadruples his regular bet.
And everybody just says, "Oh my God, this game didn't even be close. 50-0, 70-0." So, I just don't see it happening. Why hasn't this line moved?
Yeah,
that's why it hasn't moved. There's something fishy in the water,
and holding it there. Yep.
My bet is that, and my feeling on the bet is that it hasn't moved, and Vegas isn't going to get slaughtered on this. You guys aren't going to get slaughtered.
No.
I think, maybe it'll be a backdoor cover. Maybe it'll be a late Garrett Green running around like an idiot and throw one long and score. I just don't see it being a 48-0 blowout.
Yep, I agree. Chris, what do you think?
Well, as this game building up to Saturday, like when we made the bet, like I was all in on West Virginia. Then the more I read, now it's like Jesus, maybe they can cover. I mean,
No, you were all in on Penn State.
Well, yeah, but now it's like, well, maybe West Virginia will, and I keep listening to you. And but you keep going with maybe and if. Well, fuck that. I think. I got money on the line here, so I need Penn State 21.5. But I don't know if it can happen. I mean, they got a brand new quarterback, don't they? 19-year-old
5-star.
Yeah, but I mean, his first year as a starter.
If he could be any worse than the previous quarterbacks that Penn State's had over the last 10 years.
Ooh. But if nothing else, I think the game's going to go over.
Really?
Oh, no, I like it the other way.
Wow.
I'm with Matt. I like the game under. But
I mean, if the game goes over, I'll tell you this. The Mountaineers are done.
In trouble.
They're done.
They're in big trouble.
I think they got to keep it, Chris. I think it's in your best interest. This game is like 17-14 or something. Like,
it needs to be 31-0 or 22-0.
Honestly, my biggest concern is Neil Brown. I just don't think he's a very good coach. I just don't.
Yeah.
I just don't think he's.
I think you're
but
right.
I'm not sure Ron Franklin's the coach that
James Franklin.
I'm sorry, James Franklin. Yeah, I just don't. I don't like him either. I don't.
Yeah, he doesn't really ever win any big games.
But I mean,
tends to not cover either.
Listen, this is set up for Penn State to beat them by 30, 106,000 opening night. A night game at Penn State.
Best Penn State quarterback in years since Todd Blackledge.
They're touting Penn State as being. This is set up for a 30-point blowout. So question. Why isn't it line 28?
Yeah, I think that's a great point.
Who do you like, Matt? What's your feeling?
I would lean towards the Mountaineers, but I really, really, really like the game under. And I really think the Mountaineers point total is a great bet if you can get that at.
I think the Mountaineers have to play a low-scoring game, as you said.
I don't think they eclipse 14.
They have to keep it in the 20, mid to high 20s, low 30, or they're going to get railroaded.
They don't play defenses like Penn State's in that conference they're in, so I think they could be in for a little bit of a shock.
That's the only thing.
But I'm not sure Penn State will score much either because they're.
Huge turnovers for Mountaineers. If they can stay away and they get a couple sustained drives, they don't even have to score.
Right, just move the ball, flip the field.
If they can run 6 minutes, and here's the other thing about, and we all got to consider, and bettors out there, and Matt will tell you this. Remember this: the clock doesn't stop.
Right
now, when it gets a first down, and if you watch the Navy Notre Dame game, that game went so fast.
Yeah.
Because Navy ran the ball and the first down, the clock still ticks.
Yeah, they think 7 to 9 less plays a game.
And how does that affect the line? Not the lines, but like the totals.
I think it was. And I think
it has. It's made them. We're opening them about a point lower.
Right.
And I think we'll see it as the season goes on. A lot of these games are going to be lower, not because the teams can't score, it's just because the clock keeps ticking.
The bigger impact will be teams that run the ball a lot, and this game will have a lot of running in it. The passing teams, you're still getting that stoppages a lot with the incompletions, but yeah.
Here's the stat I'm going to want to see after like 3 games. How many minutes are the difference, like if you compare like when the clock stops to when they set the chains,
right,
as opposed to not stopping? How many minutes is that really going to take off of the game? And I'm sure it's going to be considerable.
Right.
Because, like, if it's a big play, if that clock is stopped and the guys got to run down the field to set the chains, you're talking probably 8, 9, 10 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
Add that up through.
It's like an NFL game.
Add that up through the entire game. That's going to be several minutes off, and that's huge in the total. So the Mountaineers understand that. If they can move the sticks, it keeps some sustained drives. But anyway, we talked enough about that game. I like
You're
the
going to win.
I like the Mountaineers, and oh boy, you can't
reverse
slip me.
No, Chris.
Bay said there's nothing that is a reverse slip.
Well, we'll see, folks. Stay tuned for next week to see how this turns out.
Here's my issue with the whole thing. I just hope I survive till 7:30 drinking Pine Room Lagers from noon till 7:30.
That's going to be really. That's the biggest.
I will probably be watching with one eye, and the music will be going, and somebody will say, "Did you see that play?" And I'll say,
"What game?"
What game?
We'll get ready for that.
And then you'll be asking us tomorrow what happened.
What
or
happened?
The next day.
Just hope you don't break your ribs in week 1.
Or fall in a fire.
Let's hope not. All right, Texas Tech at Wyoming. Anything here?
I think
Red
Texas
Raiders.
Tech's are really good, but
on the road, 14.5.
Yeah, I don't like Texas Tech at this.
Yeah,
in this
tough
game.
spot. Tough going to elevation in Laramie. That's never easy. Middle Tennessee, Alabama 39, total 51. Bet down from 55 to 51. Seeing some people giving the Crimson Tide out as a really high end play, but I don't know if I like that.
Yes, I do.
Are they okay?
I do. They come out in season openers and just rip people. I think they beat the living shit out of.
Middle Tennessee?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they make a statement. They're pissed they're not in the top
and they're
2.
coming for Texas.
And they're right. I think they roll. I think it's 58 to 3.
All right. ODU at Virginia Tech. Tech's minus 16, total 49. I like this game over. Any opinions here?
There's another team that's an enigma to me, Virginia Tech. I just
I had them right last year, how bad they were. I don't know if I can keep it up, but I would lean Old Dominion, but I don't know. Their defense is really bad. So over is where I'm going there. South Alabama at Tulane. Kind of interested in this game. I think it's
going to be a really good game.
I like this game over a lot. Both these teams bring back a lot of good players.
I think it's going to be a hell of a game.
And I've heard a lot of sharp guys say South Alabama will contend here. Tulane,
I do too. I agree.
Beat USC in a bowl game. I mean, they bring almost everybody back. Best Tulane team in 50 years.
I think South Alabama could win this game.
I think it's a great game. Yes. I think there's lots of points, and I agree South Alabama.
Well, I think it's one of the better games of the day, to be honest
totally
with you.
agree with that.
I think it's going to be a hell of a game. It's 8 o'clock. I'll probably be...
You'll read about it the next day.
It's going to be a real struggle. And now these next two, I'll be way in bed by this
Sam
time.
Houston at BYU minus 20, 50 of the total. Chris, anything there?
BYU all the way. Okay. Sam Houston stepping up in class. They were in that football subdivision, and they're going
all right, so the Bearcats.
At BYU, so no, I think BYU handles them easily.
The nightcap coach, your Chanticleers visiting UCLA. You were very high on UCLA last year. 14.5, the Bruins laying at home, total 65. I like the over. What do you say?
I don't have much of an opinion. I would lean over also, but I'm not playing it.
All right, and then into Sunday. We got a few games on Sunday. Rutgers hosting Northwestern. Rutgers minus 6.5, total 40.5. Northwestern program upside down.
Lowest total of the weekend.
Yeah, 4. This is an NFL total.
And I'll be honest with you, I'd play it under.
I would too.
Play it under.
I think Rutgers and under.
Don't get sucked in by that 40.5. Play it under.
Oh, when we joked before last year about these Big Ten games, and that's right at noon, perfect time for a nap.
Yeah, Sunday night.
I have under circled, so I'll say
watch that for about 10 minutes, and you'll put you right to sleep.
Horrible,
and you might need that on Sunday, Mark.
All right, and then we got the middle game, CBS 3:30, Oregon State at Schneid Dogs, San Jose State Spartans, Oregon State minus 16.5, total 54.5. Chris going over here.
Going way over.
I like San Jose State.
I do too, Matt. And but here's the thing. Now I'm going to say about Oregon State. I think they're going to compete in the Pac-12.
Oh, I think well coached.
I think it's a team on the rise. I think they've got potential to be in the top half of the Big 12. But I lean San Jose again in this game, but I do like the over.
Okay. All right. LSU at Florida State.
Wow.
Maybe the game of the week.
Bam.
I don't know why this isn't on Saturday, but I guess it's because of Labor Day weekend. LSU minus 2.5 on the road, total 58.5. Bet up from 55.5. I'm leaning towards the Tigers. Think they're just a little bit better. What do you say, Coach?
I'm leaning the other way, and that's just because I don't like
Brian Kelly.
I just don't like him.
Chris, is that a good reason to bet against LSU?
Well, I mean, if
you don't
just
like Brian Kelly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm taking LSU. I think they're just deeper and stronger. I mean, it didn't be a close game, but
should be a good one.
But I think LSU will win and cover.
All right, and then the final game, Monday Night Football, Clemson at Duke. Clemson minus 13, total 55.5. Bet down from 58. The line up from 11.5 to 13. Clemson might just kill,
like Clemson,
kill.
Yeah, I like Clemson.
Yeah, nobody talks about them anymore. Like in the elite programs.
That's what happens when you don't have a quarterback. Yeah, you get forgotten about fast. But all right, guys, that concludes week 1 on the card. We're going to take a break here on Bettor's Last Stand. We're going to come back and talk some racing with Sam, and then see if he likes anything in college this week as well. It's Bettor's Last Stand here. We'll be back after this.
All right.
Reminder: Bettor's Last Stand is for informational and entertainment purposes only. All wagering activity should only be conducted by those 21 years of age or older and within the confines of federal, state, and local law. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, contact 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-426-2537. You're watching Bettor's Last Stand.
All right, welcome back in. Bettor's Last Stand. Coach had to run, getting Pine Room prep ready for opening day. We're now joined by Sam, the man from Upper St. Clair. He's got some baseball on the TV right now. He had to navigate the mean streets of the Pittsburgh area and the suburbs as construction is everywhere. It's like down here in Wheeling. His road surfaces are a little better than ours, but still yellow and orange everywhere you turn, Sam. How you doing today?
Things are well. Got through the road work. You know, they take their time, Matt. It's a great gig.
Paid by the hour, right?
I definitely am doing the wrong thing because I could flip a sign. You know, I could hold a shovel. can do a lot of that. But do you guys have any like road markers yet? Do you have lanes? Do you have paint down, or is it still all hands?
They couldn't paint this thing. The whole paint bucket would sink into the street, and it's everywhere. There's water breaks. There's electric lines down. By our houses is just a
Sam. When you start down in our neighborhood and go south, you can go all the way down to probably where that Oric building is.
Yes,
and so which is a stretch of probably a mile and a half where there's
past West Banco Arena. Yes. It looks like a war zone the whole way. Well, you saw it back in the winter when you were here.
Yeah, you came down. You came down Main Street. It has not changed one bit.
Not at all. It's actually worse.
Yeah.
Jeez. I'm not to bring an Abrams.
I mean, it'll be nice when it's done, but who knows when that'll be?
We might all be dead.
Yeah.
Who knows? And the Pirates might be winning the World Series. So who knows? Anything can happen.
No. Jack Sawinski won't be on that team.
Oh God! Enough about him. All right. So Sam, let's kick it off. Let's go to baseball, as Chris said. Just quickly, any observations this week? Anybody you're high on, low on now? I mean, it's starting to get down to crunch time here.
The Reds don't seem to be, having the juice that they had. The Cubbies definitely are good. Cody Bellinger's pretty good this year. I don't know what's going on. He's just like consistent. If you have a team of just 4 or 5 consistent baseball players, I would much rather have that than like 1 or 2 that are stats are standing out, because it's obviously paying off.
Yeah.
I think the Cubbies and Brewers are going to be battling it out there.
Yeah, I thought the Cubs were in big trouble after losing Game 1, but then they've shown some fight, which is a good sign. That's what you want to see.
Yes, and I'm sure I know I've texted Jared about it. And about the Pirates and they're giving their rights away, right?
Yeah.
All right.
The Pirates are just. I mean,
I don't have much to say about
it. With the TV thing yesterday and just how cheap this franchise is, it's I don't know.
What do you mean with FSG?
Yeah,
buying.
Then the Pirates didn't want to chip in on it, and so they're not even going to have a fucking network next year. It looks like.
Oh, I didn't know that was part of it. The Pirates didn't want to chip in.
That's what.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah,
that's not surprising.
No, so I don't know. MLB's obligated to have the teams on, but I don't know who will announce the games. I don't know. I don't know what's going to come.
I don't either. I'm not surprised. Really not.
You can't be. You can't be surprised at all.
I mean, they're for sure going to be on something next year. Right. There's just no way they're not. But I think they're going to go to streaming, or it's got to be something on TV. It's impossible for it to not be on.
If they still get it on Fubo, I'll be happy.
Yeah, MLB it has the mandatory. They have to have every game available in some feed, so that's good. But they may take it over. I don't know.
I know.
Who knows? Greg Brown might be out of a job. The Pirates will still have a radio broadcast, I would assume. But who knows? I mean, there's a lot of teams facing the same thing, but it's not just them. But they're just so cheap. Why wouldn't they just try to pair up with the Penguins just to make themselves look like they give a shit and care a little bit about winning? Because the Penguins at least try.
Well, but I read that FSG. I mean, they'll do it upright. They said because they own NESN, right? What is that? NESN, yeah. So, I mean,
I'm not worried. Network,
yeah. Yeah, so I think they'll be fine. I did read that.
Well, the Penguins will be, but the Pirates won't be. That's the problem.
What do you mean?
You said you think they'll be fine. The Buccos may not have a home.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the Steelers.
Hey, listen, if Fenway Sports Group owned the Pirates, Sam would be fucking doing backflips, and so would everyone else around here.
I would.
Yeah, then you'd be talking about like a guy like Cody Bellinger or somebody like that playing for the Pirates.
He's on a 1-year deal, and they probably could sign him next year.
Right. Yeah. But that's just not happening.
Oh, well, what are you going to do? Any other observations? Anybody else you think? Marlins are done, aren't they?
Yeah, they're done. They're done. The Angels are obviously done.
Yeah, how about that yesterday?
Sam,
DFA half their fucking team.
Matt, did he wear an Angels hat one day?
Yeah. Okay. And they've never won a game since.
Wow, Sam, you did them no favors, buddy.
Chris, every team I pick, I don't know who to pick next.
Pick somebody you hate, and maybe it'll work.
I know, but like, do I cheer for the Brewers?
Right. Yeah. Start wearing a Ryan Braun jersey.
I'd rather wear a Prince. I'd rather wear a Prince Fielder.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Okay. Watch that wire. Right. We got to get that repaired. All right.
Hey, Chris, that's like when they slam them through the announce table in wrestling. Those wires, you got to watch out for those.
Well, you know what?
Jim Ross hated that when the monitor goes out.
It's usually the Spanish announce table.
Yeah. When the monitor goes out, though, those guys are pissed.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, let's jump into racing, and then we'll get your last. If you have any college football games that maybe you like, if there's one or two that stood out to you. All right, let's start with F1. Well, one thing's never changing. Max Verstappen makes it 9 in a row. Sergio Perez cost me a double podium finish with his 5-second penalty at the end.
Ridiculous.
Fernando Alonso runs well. Lando Norris runs well again. You did really well with your picks in F1. The McLaren boys came through for you. Observations about the Dutch Grand Prix and all that sea of orange.
Yeah, I mean, Max is just so good.
He is.
They should just let him sit out a race.
Let someone else win.
Just see what happens, you know. Yeah. But I mean, Gasly finishing up there. Sainz. I thought something was going to happen to him.
Yeah, you kept waiting for that.
Yeah, but it was an all right race. You know, it's just very, very boring once Max gets the lead.
Yeah,
like when it's 10 plus seconds, it's tough.
It is. What do you see here in Italy? I thought maybe with some rain it would make it a little bit interesting last week, but what are you thinking? Same strong teams. McLaren is here to stay. Fernando's making a resurgence, and Red Bull just impossible to beat. Is that where you're at with this race? Kind of like I am.
Yeah, kind of. But I did find something when I was looking it up that Nick DeVries last year was P9 in a Williams, which makes me go, Alex Albon is going to finish somewhere in the top 10 because he's been running well. He's been running well all year, really. And I believe in the guy. He's their only hope, really. I
would say that the Williams racing team has made some strides. I can't believe I'm saying it. They look like an absolute doormat, and they have shown some signs of an uptick. So, okay, I like it. Albon for maybe a top 10 could be a live one here.
Yes.
How about is there any shot that Mercedes has a little bit better of a result? I mean, George Russell, things went bad for him real quick.
Yeah, well, something's up with them too. They just have a weird like stink to them. I don't even know what it is. They're always complaining, and
yeah, they do.
I do think I didn't mention. I think Lance Stroll. I think he will also be in the top 10.
Oh, okay, maybe right around 11. He's always right there.
I hate that I'm saying that.
Lance Stroll's always right around 10,
he's
11,
right on the cusp
12.
of the top 10.
He never gets past 9. It's impossible for him. Yeah.
No, which is why I think this is the week he slides in.
Okay. All right. Now, how about Ferrari? As you mentioned, Sainz held on, but man, Charles Leclerc's been just awful. He's just been awful.
Terrible.
I think he should probably get fired, but I don't know if he will or not.
I don't think they can fire him.
Probably not. I don't know. Ferrari's a mess. But Red Bull probably rolls again here in Italy. I don't really see any other way around it. Maybe Zhou Guanyu will contend this week.
Like, here's the thing, Matt. Like, if anybody else gets in the lead, I can't even imagine them holding it for more than a lap unless Max, crashed.
No, I know. That's right. Fernando Alonso just has to hope to qualify second and take Max out on the start somehow and take the lead and never look back. It's his only way to go. But I don't know. All right, let's get to a little bit more competitive circuit here. Great race last week. Ironically, I took a shot. Like I didn't really think about Scott Dixon that much last week when we were on the show, but I saw on Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon that his odds were like up to 22-1, and I was like, you know what? That's too high for him. I'm going to take a shot, and it ended up working out. And he kind of dominated. What did you think of last week's performance at Worldwide Tech by Dixon?
Yeah, Dixon dominated. 22 seconds. He won by 123 laps. He led. I mean, he was awesome. He was Scott Dixon. He was untouchable. I'll just say it now. I have him to pick to win this upcoming race too.
Okay. All right. Good.
I do. Scott Dixon has been dominant. I think he's going to dominate again.
I know he's won the last 2 races, and he's going for a third in a row. And now it's like all of a sudden, man, if he had been closer to Alex Palou, maybe he would have been a contender to win this.
I know, but he's sick, and Palou has so many weird things going on. I keep saying it, but he's getting sued now for McLaren wants $30 million from him.
Yeah. He's got a lot of off-the-track shit, and it's affecting him on the track, I feel like. I think you called that last week. It's definitely obvious.
For sure, and it's like, Dixon, I think you're going to keep running well. His teammate Power probably will too, but We'll go for also a Bobby Rahal, the Bobby Rahal vehicle.
Old Graham Rahal didn't come through for you last week, but you had a strong week in the racing circuit, so it was a good. So, all right, you're going with Dixon to win it again this week, huh?
Yes, sir.
What about any other long shot type guys? Anybody that can sneak in there?
Rossi top 5,
okay,
for sure. Right. Rossi's very strong here.
I like that. All right. Good stuff. Scott McLaughlin, the defending champ, led 104 laps here last year, so he could be in the mix as well. And Will Power, always strong here at Portland. So good stuff. All right, let's switch over to the stock cars. Chris, exciting race last week. We had 2 ridiculous crashes. Guys who were lucky to be alive. Now, actually, before I get to Chris and his opinions about the race, because we were talking about it on Sunday and Saturday night. Sam, I got to ask you. I asked some guys this on Sunday. If you're the driver, which wreck are you preferring, the Priest or the Blaney? I chose the Blaney. I chose the Priest. I thought the Blaney one was worse as far as my health would go. I would rather flip like Priest than I would crash straight into the wall at 200 and plus like Blaney. What say you?
Yeah, I actually agree, and I didn't even think about that. Those were 2 of the worst wrecks I've ever seen.
It was breathtaking. It was terrible.
I couldn't believe that Priest landed upright. You know, he just landed there and it was just like, holy shit. I mean, he flipped so many times in the air. But Matt, you're right. Blaney's hit was so hard. He's lucky that these cars are this safe.
Very.
And then that wall, too. I mean, it had a lot of give to it.
Wall.
Yeah, those safer barriers really important. Obviously, Hahn's device. I mean, and Dale Earnhardt dying really opened up a lot of that.
Yeah.
So he can be thankful for that. But, yeah, you could tell, I mean, Blaney, just what that feels like to your body. And I'm surprised that he's not like on a questionable list for this week. Have you seen anything? Is Priest and Blaney, or both of them going to race?
I haven't seen anything, and it is shocking because it's like Kurt Busch retires this week or last week, I guess, and now those 2 terrible crashes. And
I never even saw Blaney diagnosed with a concussion or losing consciousness or anything, which is just remarkable. I mean, here we watch football every week, and guys get tapped on the helmet, and there's 15-yard penalties, and guys are laying there, and they're stopping the game, and this dude is driving a car into a concrete wall at 200, and another guy's flying like a helicopter, and they just come back and race the next week.
Sam, did you realize how bad that wreck was when it first happened, or no? I didn't.
Blaney?
When he hit the wall, because we were at the vets watching, but I just saw cars going everywhere, but then we didn't really notice it until we got to see the replay, and our jaws dropped.
It was so odd because I think it was the last lap of that stage or the second to last lap, and it was the leader. Typically, it's somewhere in middle of the pack trying to make a push.
They had got the white flag for the freaking stage.
Yeah, and it was just like they said on TV, here's the big one, and it was just huge. But then when they showed the replay, because they showed the whole pileup more than actually Blaney. When they just showed Blaney initially hitting, it was like, holy shit, because his tires lift off the ground, and he hits hard.
I mean, it's just like, it would be literally like you just going down to a cement wall somewhere in your town and taking your car back like 80 meters and just gunning it and just going straight into the wall. To get up to that speed that he hit it at. It's remarkable. Those guys, anybody that says those guys aren't athletes should shut the fuck up. But anyway, all right, let's finish up with you had a great pick, Buescher. His team, the RFK Racing boys, they continue to perform exceptionally well right now. And I don't know about you, Sam, but I would say that these 2 guys are not without a chance here in these playoffs.
I agree. I don't know where this speed's coming from. I don't know if it's been there the whole time and they've just waited.
Right.
But 3 in 5 weeks is pretty impressive.
And he's winning on different kinds of tracks too, so it's not just one type, which tells me that their team is really dialed in right now. And Brad Keselowski has been arguably the best driver in this stretch outside of like William Byron and Buescher. And he hasn't even have wins to show for it.
I know, and he's been there though. Yeah. And I cannot believe we're talking about him.
I know. You had him dead to rights. He was ready to retire back in February. We had him recommended for the fucking wheelchair.
If I ever see him in person, I'm gonna apologize.
Yeah, but great race. We had some good winners. We had Keselowski top 3s, top 5s. Almirola was up there. Elliott couldn't get the job done, but Buescher did. And it was an exciting race. I think
one thing, Matt.
Yes,
when that crash happened and Elliott made it through, did you think that it was his race to lose when he made it through?
I thought, you know what, this is like an omen. He's probably going to have a really strong shot at this. But yeah, didn't turn out. But he ran well. I mean, I give the guy credit. He survived all the wrecks. He got through all the trouble. He gave himself an opportunity. Same with Almirola. I thought both of those guys had good enough runs to have won that race. And if they get a little bit more racing luck in certain parts of that, maybe towards the end, then they probably would have won. But yeah. Hats off to Ford. Chris had the Ford winner last week. He gave out, so it worked out well. And then we go on to Darlington, one of the toughest tracks on the circuit. It's playoff week number 1, which makes it very intriguing. It's the return of the Southern 500, the Cookout Southern 500. William Byron won the first race at Darlington this year, and then last year the Southern 500 was won by Eric Jones. So this track, to me, very tough track, veteran guys, but it seems like, Sam, I want to get your opinion on this. It seems like guys who run well here always run well here if they don't get in accidents. It's one of those tracks that's definitely like a horse-for-course type track.
Yeah, I agree 100%. All the names that I saw, they were just like kind of veteran guys that know the track. They know once they get in this position, that's where they're going to be.
Right.
They just work their way up from there. And
you just got to be careful. A lot of tire blowouts on this track. Lots of like wear. You just have a guy out in front and he just blows a tire or something goes wrong. It's a very demanding track. Is this the one they call, Chris, the track too tough to tame?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it is too tough to tame. But a lot of guys in the mix here. I think a lot of potential winners here. You got the playoffs, another layer to this right now. The RFK guys going to be contenders. Martin Truex right now about 5.5 to 1. He's one of the favorites, along with Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin up in there. William Byron just a little shy of 9 to 1. Ross Chastain. Sam, who sticks out to you as your top contenders?
I mean, Keselowski's been the top 10 his last 2 races here, but Truex has crashed out of the last 3 races here.
Yes.
Which I don't think that'll happen again. But, it's racing in the playoffs, so it very well could. But I saw names that stuck out like Almirola, McDowell, Bell.
Yep.
But neither of those names are the guy that I'm picking as my winner.
Okay. Who may that be?
That is Kyle Busch.
Okay.
And I will tell you why. He finished P7 here earlier this year, and last year Reddick in the 8 car finished in 3rd and 2nd in both races there.
Yes.
And Kyle Busch is good, and it's the playoffs, and he's going to lock in, and he's kind of a psychopath, to be honest.
And he's about 13 to 1, which is a pretty good price for him. I had him starred too. I thought Tyler Reddick has had really good success, and I agree. I think that translates over. Busch already good here. The car set up. The team knows this track pretty well. I think he's a definite contender. I thought Austin Dillon's very interesting for a top 10. Yeah. I thought he's like 200 to 1 to win the race. I don't know if he can win the race.
No,
I think him for a top 10. I think is really worth a look. Harvick, I mean, what can you say about him? This guy just knows how to drive this track. I mean, he's around 17 to 1. I couldn't rule anybody, chalk anybody out of betting him. Keselowski around 17 to 1. He was another one that I really liked a lot. And then Eric Jones, he runs really well here. This is just probably his best track, or close to.
Yeah, and they need something.
Yeah, absolutely. How about some dark horse guys? You said Keselowski, Truex, and Kyle to win it. Anybody else that well, you mentioned McDowell. Do you think he's live here for a top 10 or something?
Maybe, but he ran strong the 2 races, and then last week it was just I don't know, but like Bell runs consistent, but he hasn't had anything this year that like makes him stand out to me that he
hasn't been
taken like a leap. Or
no, I agree. I don't think he's been nearly
a little.
He hasn't progressed like I thought, where he would be more consistent. knocking out top 5s and top 10s. Chris, where are you leaning in this big shootout at Cookout Southern 500?
You're not going to like this. I don't even like it, but I'm going to take Bubba to finish in the top 10. He's finished in the top 10 in the last 2 races there, or I believe so.
No,
he's riding high because he backed into the playoffs. And
I like that pick, Chris.
I saw him, celebrate with Michael Jordan. So maybe that momentum will carry him into this week, and he'll have a good week. And I also picked Toyota to win the manufacturer. That'll be the manufacturer to win this race.
All right. Do you have a particular Toyota driver, or is Bubba in the mix, or Bubba's boss, Denny Hamlin, or Truex, or
Truex?
Okay.
I like Martin Truex.
Okay. Sam, any other thoughts on this race? Anything else that you're going to be looking for here? Actually, let me ask you this question: out of the guys in the playoffs, give me your top 3 guys that you think can win this championship right now.
I think Buescher can win it.
I don't disagree.
Do you? I think Buescher can win it. I really do. Oh, that's tough. I think Byron can win it because I there's just no way that consistency doesn't carry over to the playoffs.
Agreed.
And, man, maybe Martin.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. Yeah.
Maybe Martin.
I agree. I have Truex, Byron, and, man, it was tough. I almost picked Denny Hamlin, but I went with Joey Logano.
I know. He's been strong. He's been strong, too.
Chris, what do you think? If you have to go with a guy to maybe be a contender in the championship, would anybody stand out to you?
No.
No?
I'm sorry.
We'll check back later.
I'll just, you know what? I'll be better next week.
Oh, okay. That's all right. It's only the first race. You can't win the championship.
We got 10 more, right?
9.
9.
Yeah.
Okay.
10 races left.
You can't win it in week 1, but you can lose it in week 1, or so they say. So the motto goes. All right.
Sure.
Sam, any closing thoughts on the race?
I can't wait. I hope nobody flips. I think we got our flips out of the way.
Yeah, it'll be good. Holiday weekend.
Matt, is this on Sunday?
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe so, yeah. And then finally, Sam, before we let you go, anything stick out on the college football card? Any games intrigue you this week, or any picks that maybe you're zeroing in on?
Yeah, the only thing was what I texted you. I was looking through everything. It's like Hawaii and Stanford both stink. I mean, they stink. This is a terrible college football game. But it was Hawaii. It was they're terrible, Chris.
I know. Yeah, they both suck.
Money line. And I was like, Hawaii's going to win because Hawaii just caught on fire and it's a home game. And that's just how college football and stupid shit like that works.
Hawaii caught on fire.
It did.
I think I was deliberate.
You know what I mean? It's like I think it was deliberate. I don't know what that's got to do with the football.
To motivate the Rainbows. All right, I like the pick though. The Rainbow Warriors live as they get back home to.
What do you liking?
Smoke.
You can just give me one.
One game that I liked. Let's see. Let me find.
Hey Sam, I'll give you mine. BYU.
Oh, the Cougars.
They're going to crush Sam Houston.
Mine, probably one of my better plays, UTSA Roadrunners against Dana Holgerson in Houston.
Oh.
I think they'll crush Dana on the road.
Oh. I hate to hear that.
Then, what do you think about the Mountaineers, though?
Yeah, I want to get your opinion. I want to get your opinion.
Is it going to be bad?
I think it's going to be bad because Penn State's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think Penn State's better than what people are saying. I think that Penn State could
picking the Mountaineers to cover, though. He thinks that
he's got a lot of bets on
21 in the hook. He thinks they can hang in there.
I don't think that's going to happen. I don't
think the Mountaineers are going to be able to score a lot. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's what I mean. How are they going to stop them, and how are they going to score?
Penn State's defense is like NFL quality.
Right.
Yeah. Even though they don't have Peasy Jr., though, because he's at Steeler training camp ready to go. And any last observations before NFL, before week 1 next week?
I think Steelers or the Bengals win the North. I think the Ravens could actually finish in last. Yeah, I do. I don't know why.
I do think the Steelers are actually going to be better.
I really
Chris. We both think they're going to be better than people think, but we'll see. I don't know. All right. Well, thanks as always for joining us.
NFC North. NFC North is the Lions.
The Lions?
Hey, they open up next.
Yes.
They open up the first week,
Chiefs.
first game of the season. That's just weird to see Detroit on prime time to open up the NFL season. I think it's great.
They better give him a game.
This might be a high-scoring game.
They probably will. The Chiefs aren't really going to care about that game that much. Anyway, we'll see. Sam, thanks as always. Great insight. We'll be talking to you this weekend with all the racing action, I'm sure. And stay safe out there. Don't run any traffic cones. Are you off on Monday?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
So tomorrow's your Friday.
Yeah.
Wow, nice 4-day weekend.
Good for
Beautiful.
you.
What are you guys doing? Are you guys going to Motown, or are they coming up your way?
Max is working, and I might go down and see the baby, but his birthday is also next week.
Oh.
So, yeah,
Wait, his birthday's what, the 6th?
Yeah, a week from today, so I might go down next week and do a little celebration if he's got the weekend off. Do it that way. Do it right.
Nice. All right. Well, safe travels, and we'll talk to you soon. And great analysis as always. Thanks, and good luck.
Keep your head on a swivel.
I always do, Chris. Go Bucks.
All right.
Be aware of your surroundings. All right, buddy. See you.
Later.
Bye.
All right. That was Sam from Upper St. Clair. Great analysis as always on the racing, all the other sports. Chris, any last words before we part?
No, man. This is
action-packed show.
Third week in a row, I think, with you and Mark, and it's been a lot of fun, and we have so much to analyze and dissect, but it's a hell of a lot of fun.
Yes,
and,
it is.
I'm looking forward to football, but I know you and I will probably get tired of it. It won't take too long.
In all honesty, I don't like to break Coach's heart, but I'm tired of it already. I don't even like it. I just really like NFL. I try to watch these games, and I actually like the preseason sometimes better than the regular season because I feel like they don't throw as many flags. But the commercials and the stoppage, and that Notre Dame game really pissed me off. Coach said it was a fast game. Well, parts of it were, but there was one section where they ran 4 plays in 15 minutes, and it's just not acceptable. And there wasn't anybody hurt or anything. Too many reviews, and too many people screwing things up. It's just it's too slow, and the product sucks.
And I want to ask Mike Florio just to get his opinion on what he thinks of the actual game, the quality, just because how many times do you, me, Coach, whomever, just complain about all the penalties, the automatic first downs, the reviews. It's a horrible product, I think, to watch, and it has gotten worse over the years, year by year. They keep adding more rules in for safety, and we're all for safety, but it's taken away from the product, I think.
It is, because you can just look at NASCAR, and the perfect example of what we just discussed. NASCAR's product is now making a resurgence at a really high level, and the safety is really good, and those guys still are doing the same stuff that they used to do in a safer manner, and they're still putting their bodies on the line, but they're not. I mean, they're actually able to come back and race after an impact like they took last week.
Yes,
so they mask a lot of these agendas in safety, and it's really not about safety.
Well, but adding another week to the schedule is not about safety, right?
Right. That's about money.
Yes,
money.
That's all it is. And the discussion you and I had the other day about that. About. Guy gets hurt. He looks like he's dead. I'll cancel the game. That's it.
Yeah. No, and
we can't do this.
It's going to be bad. You're going to see it at all levels, and you're going to have just kids getting sprained ankles that we're going to say, "Oh my God, Johnny got a sprained ankle. We got to cart him off, and the game will end." I mean,
the minute like a guy's on a stretcher or on a gurney or on that cart or even when it's to me it's laughable. When someone has to go into the the tent?
Yeah,
come on, it's just stupid. So I don't know. Yeah. It's not a very good product, and we'll be tired of it soon.
Yeah, I'm already.
But we got hockey on the horizon, Matt.
Yeah,
so
hockey on the horizon, U.S. Open tennis to watch it in the evenings, which is really great. Anyway, we will be back here on Bettor's Last Stand. Be sure and keep up with all the things Pine Room at the Pine Room Studios. As Chris mentioned, we have Mike Florio in studio tomorrow. We'll be taping that, releasing it out on the radio some next week, as well as a standalone show as part of the podcast, a special featuring Mike Florio of Pro Football Talk, one of the top writers in the entire country on the NFL, and we'll be happy to have him here in Wheeling as he's here for a book signing at the Public Library on Friday, so good stuff there. Football Friday show, if you're listening right now, you might be able to turn us on for the last hour. We'll be down at Moundsville getting ready for the John Marshall Union Local game at Gumby's in Moundsville by the Walmart. We're on week 3 now, and Gumby's and Jill's Gentlemen's Club sponsoring those shows for us. We're having a great time, really fun stuff. Good to go through the Duggar's Saucy Spread Challenge, week 2 picks. Chris with a lot of pressure on him. He's in second place.
Yeah.
So lots going on. Exciting stuff for the Pine Room. We got Pine Room opening day. But on a sad note, I have to mention this before we go. If you have any information as to the whereabouts of the Wheeling Park High School Eagle mascot, it is still missing. People are very concerned around the area. If you've tuned into our shows, you'll hear we have a lot of potential suspects, and we're really not sure how this is going to turn out. We hope the Eagle's okay, and we hope that the Patriots continue to survive without him. But if you have any news on him, please don't hesitate to get in touch with the Pine Room guys and share maybe some insight as to where he could be right now.
And Matt, listen, checking in with you guys on the show, listening. I mean, this is like a firestorm. I mean, people are talking about it.
It's the talk of the
you're
valley.
getting people calling in, and and a couple guys called like what was that Tuesday? Pointing fingers at this guy may have done something. A lot of nefarious.
Could be some foul play.
Right, exactly. So but I gotta give a lot of credit just to the community as a whole because they care and they want to get to the bottom of this and so thanks. I mean I these guys are putting a lot of time into it and thanks to the community for calling in and being concerned and hopefully we'll get to the bottom of it and the Eagle will be fine.
The call center is open all the time, so
the tip line,
remember that 304-214-1600. You can call during our radio show. Any information will be helpful as Ohio County continues to investigate this disturbing disappearance of the Wheeling Park mascot. All right, until then, we will talk to you next week on Bettor's Last Stand, but we got plenty of other Pine Room content. We're all over it. Pine Room Podcast, Pine Room Radio, Monday, Tuesday, Friday. Stay tuned at the Pine Room Studios on social media. Gave away those Morgan Wallen tickets. That show is tonight when you're listening. Or no, it'll be last night because this comes out Friday. So, So, hopefully our people that won that enjoy. And, lots going on. We'll see you next week here on Bettor's Last Stand. Have a great weekend. Good luck with your bets. And
Happy Labor Day.
See you in the Pine Room.